want to show you one of my favorite Cougars of all time today. Reason being is I go back with this car about 20 years. When I started this business 25 years ago, a high percentage of my customers were original owners. Guys just keeping their old cars on the road. And this one was always immaculate. The person that bought it loved it. He went through many cars over the years, several cars anyway, but this is the one that stayed in the garage, and this is the one he never sold. And I told him, I said, if you ever get rid of this, let me know. Well, the years went by and he had a stroke, and he gave me a call and said, Don, I know you probably won't keep it forever. I know you've had a lot of Cougars, but find it the right home. Well, I found it the right home several years ago, and the guy I sold it to said, I will never sell it, Don. I said, well, just in case, if you ever sell it, I want to be the guy. And he calls me the other day and says, you know, time has gone on and I've bought more cars and less space. I want you to sell it for me, Don. So here I am selling this car all over again. He let me drive it for a couple weeks, which was part of the deal. And I'm billing it as an almost perfect unrestored car. When I sold the car a few years ago, the original paint was still really nice. It had some scratches, had dings, some thin spots, but overall nice paint job. The new owner opted to repaint it. He did not put the pinstripes back on. That could be done. He spent $8,000 on this paint job, and the body shop was really impressed. They said it was the nicest body they'd ever seen on this vintage of car. No rust anywhere, no accidents, no dents, no excuses. When I purchased this car almost a decade ago, it had the original hubcaps and wheels on it. One of the first things I did was upgrade it to style steel wheels, 15.7 style steel wheels, chrome outer, and the tires you see on it now. This interior is amazing. Some would even dispute that it's original, but what you're seeing here is original, original, original. I am the one that replaced everything in here or sold the items in here, so I know exactly what's been changed. This knob on the tilt-away here, that's a reproduction. They always break, so that's been changed. The insert switch has been changed. A used pull strap off of a four-door Lincoln was put on the driver's side because there was 2 cracks here when I changed it. This knob has been changed. The sill plates have been changed, and very, very little else. A bulb here and there. This is the original leather. The original carpet is the nicest I've ever seen. It's not peeled up, it's not faded, it's not worn smooth. It's never been painted. This is the original carpet, and you can tell just by how woolly it feels. 100% original headliner. The sail panels aren't water damaged. This car has probably only spent a handful of nights in its entire life outdoors. Very few nights outdoors. The dash pad is super soft and shiny. Nothing has been spray painted in this car. Original fasteners everywhere. Cold AC. R12 still in the system. Original hoses, pump, everything in the AC is original. It was serviced. We have every record since day one, every receipt since day one, not one missing. I say almost perfect. These shifters are known for the tension spring breaking. It should pop when you just should have more spring tension here. See how that's loose? And we do have that spring in stock to replace that. The clock is the original, has not been converted to quartz, therefore it doesn't work. I think that's the only 2 things in this interior that need attention. Notice the mirror isn't coming apart on the silvering on the back. This is another evidence that it's always been garage kept and not been exposed to extreme heat. working thermistor on the low fuel sending unit option, which I can't remember the last time I saw one that actually worked. Got it. Oh. And it went off? It just went off there. Perfect. That's what I wanted you to get. Usually when I drive a 4-speed, something in me says drive it a little more spirited and a little faster than usual, but on this car, I drive it just as if the original owner was sitting next to me. It just kind of begs it. Hey, I'm going to show you underneath and the front and under the hood a little bit. I'm going to leave this video up after I sell the car because I think this is going to be beneficial for you guys trying to get your car back to what it should be. So check this out. Okay, this engine is basically not detailed. Maybe the air cleaner's been repainted. This decal has been changed. But the previous owner decided that a 4-barrel would be a little more fun, so he carefully took off the cast iron 2-barrel and put aluminum 4-barrel on there and painted it so it wouldn't stick out, left the 2V sticker on it. He wanted an original look here. Of course, it comes with the original carburetor, intake manifold, carb spacer, etc. The Holley works great. Having secondaries open up once in a while is nice. Notice that he got the correct adapter bracket here for the Holley. The original accelerator cable fits perfectly. I'm happy with this conversion. I don't know if I would have done it. I think I would have left it with a 2-barrel. So if the next owner wants it lockbox stock, wouldn't be hard to change out, and you got a nice little asset here if you wanted to sell that on eBay. Okay, moving right along, air conditioning, like I mentioned earlier, 100% original. Look at these alligator texture hoses, how shiny they are, and all the part numbers and all the markings on them. Clamp right where it should be. Nothing really to pick apart here. The shroud is a reproduction plastic, not an original. We do have a Fomoco radiator that has been recored. All the wiring is original, and the hoses right where they should be. Got a broken clip there. Really no excuses here other than at one time it had squeaking upper control arms, and somebody talked the original owner into getting out the blowtorch and putting an access hole there for the Zerks. Now if this were a 67 or 8, that'd be a big deal, because if you drill a hole like that in a 67 or 8 without this reinforcement plate, you're going to crack some shock towers. But on this one, it's more cosmetic. That being said, I would weld that shut one of these days just because it's ugly and everything looks so correct in here. Do notice that the coil has been changed at one time. You know me, I'm a stickler for these aprons having the spot welds in place. Look at that, all 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Even got the little machine markings there. Untouched, never been an fender bender up front. All the panels are arrow straight. Core support, arrow straight. Andrew, get a shot of this grill. This is the hardest part on a 69 to find. They pit in between here. These center grills, this piece right here is worth $500 or $600. Reason being is if you hit this side, you just broke the grill. If you hit this side, you just broke the grill. If you hit anything straight on, well, look what protrudes here. You just broke the grill. This is very expensive. So this grill here, if you could find one like this in this kind of condition, is worth more than $1,500. If you got one of these center grills to sell or a complete grill, I want to hear from you. We always buying these. Okay, these wheels are getting hard to come by. Specialty Wheel, also known as Coker Tire, has informed me they're probably going to quit making them. Well, that's a bummer. It sure is nice having a 15.7 instead of a 14.6 with a trim ring. Inside the fender well here, it's mint. That's the original undercoating, paint. There's no rust, there's no wrinkle. Look hard and you will find chalk marks. Here's one right here. On this right-hand bracket, I'm seeing a letter R. It's just cool to see that original patina here. These were wiring protectors. Now in the day, this would have been soft and pliable and would have gripped this and would have held about right here and, kept anti-rattle wiring rode across it, so nothing shorted out on the wiring. Nice to see those original pieces there. Going across here, oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. This is the best I've seen in a long time. Just one little wrinkle from a floor jack. And over here, that same floor jack, one little wrinkle. This has never hit a curb or a ditch, ever. That's just neat. You don't see that. I must be a Cougar nerd getting all excited about lack of damage. Moving on here, it's just what it should be. I mean, we're looking at, he's had ball joints put in it because those are bolt in. These are rivet in, so that's original. Idler arm, I'm sure, has been replaced. And could use it again. Little bit of slack there, not bad. Little bit of slack here. I gotta say, it drives nice going down the road though. You wouldn't know it. Yeah, this is all fresh, tight, no power steering leaks. The clutch is new, by the way, and acts like a new clutch. I just really can't pick it apart in here. Here's a crack in a boot. There's something to pick apart, Andrew. A little bit of a crack there in this old boot. Dual exhaust, of course, is not factory, but at the time that the 4-barrel came on, they put this on. I think it's a good addition. I'm seeing perfection in here. These have never been touched. That's original sound deadener still flaking off there. All these fasteners, the fuel line, even this old hose looks original. Let's go over to the other side here and look at this torque box. It is just as clean. Floor pans are perfect in every respect. A little bit of leakage here, probably coming from this rear main on the top loader. You can still see the C8ZZ part number on the rear mount. Here's the original markings. Grease pin on the top loader 4-speed. Original boot is falling apart, so needs a little work there. I've only seen a handful of drive lines that, look at that, there's no rust on that. You could polish and wax that. I bet if I could probably even wax that paint on the, look at that, that's something. All 3 stripes clearly visible. Moving back here. Everything's perfect back here, not even a hint of rust. On this side, same thing. Seam sealer, still where it should be. A little bit hard, but all perfect in this area. Wheelhouse is perfect. This is as dry as they get. This is really clean, even by West Coast standards. It's missing the rubber drain covers here on both sides. Okay, these rocker moldings are notorious for coming off, so somebody got out their screw gun and put a couple holes in them. Here we go. There's your only rust in the whole car right there. That's it. Very common for dust to settle in these corners, and probably happened right after they painted it. Probably was thin metal there. I tell people all the time to buy our grade B doors, because the grade A doors, put on your $8,000 paint job and look what happens. A couple years later it sprouts through. You're better off just to buy a grade B door, take care of the blisters now, and know what you got for metal. Wheel-lip moldings always look worse from the bottom side, but I wanted to point these out. You know, a set of NOS ones is $1,000 these days. Look at that, still has the shine on it. A little steel wool, and those would polish up nice. Let's look at all 4 wheel-lip moldings real quick. This is the right rear. Got a little ding at 12 o'clock, but usually they're just wasted right here. This one's got a little bit of gravel rash. The left rear is really nice, just a little bit of gravel rash. It looks like somebody has put the wrong screws in here. It should have panhead screws, so this might be indication that somebody replaced it. That being said, when you buy a Ford replacement, they come with the screws, so it really doesn't make sense that these screws that you'd see on sill plates are here. Here we are again, wrong screws in the wheel-lip molding, but nice wheel-lip molding nonetheless. And here we are again. We got a couple ugly screws in here. Okay, this is pretty amazing. He purposely did not paint the inside of this trunk. Look at the bottom side of this. Trunk light still works. I want to draw attention to this trunk seal here. Check out these ribs. The reproductions don't have these ribs. Do know when you install your trunk seal, the open part faces inward. Yeah, look, this isn't all crunchy. This is the original. Glued on, been there since day one. But this is why these seal better than the reproductions, because it's firmer in this area because of those ribs and puts a tighter seal here. Anyway, moving on. Just starting to get a little bit of pitting here going on in these lights. The wiring, very clean, still has its cloth tape. We do have that cloth tape on our website for those of you who are missing it. Of course, no accidents back here. Original zip tie in place. Look at the webbing on that wiring. That is awesome. I do believe this is a reproduction mat. Let's see if we can carefully get in here. Look at this. Look at this. That right there is bare metal. I'm supposed to be bare metal. I'm making a mess of it. Anyway, from the factory, these cars went down the line on a bracketry system that kept it from getting painted right here. And these are usually rusted out. This has just started to get some surface rust, but that's unusually clean. Let's go ahead and peek under here. There's your sequential unit. There's your perfect quarter panels, clean wiring. No patches, no excuses. Now look at the original webbing, and even this little piece of tape here is original. That's been there since day one. It's just amazing to find it like this. You know, the gold irradiated bolts, still shiny and everything. Just clean. Okay, look at this treat. This is the original spare. This is not a reproduction from Coker. Look at the ink on it here and the grease pen here. It's never had a lug hit that. This car's gone its whole life without having the spare used. Everything's original here. Of course, no rust under here whatsoever. Not even a dimple. That's all original paint down there. Everybody wants to know, where's the location of this emblem? Well, it was a peel and stick. You think they got their micrometer out at the factory and put them on? No, you just put it in this general location, kind of centered between here and here. Here's something that makes me angry, if you will. Like most body shops, they over-tightened the studs on this extension. This is a soft metal. When you put this on, I don't know what the torque specs are, but when you put this on, you should grab the ratchet at its neck, not its handle, and just go snug. That's all it needs. And if you don't, you're going to dimple. You can barely see it there, but they've over-torqued this particular extension. The front ones are fine. I think this other one over here, yeah, maybe a little bit of dimpling going on. Yeah, it's minor, and only a guy like me cares, but yeah, don't let the body shop over torque your extensions. In fact, I wouldn't let a body shop assemble my car. You bring your car to the paint shop to be painted. Don't let them put it together. They don't have the love or the time that you do. That's just my opinion. Enough of my rant. Okay, I want to point out this scratch here. You know, it might buff out a little bit, but the rule of thumb is with tempered glass, if you can feel it with your thumbnail, you aren't going to temper it. You aren't going to buff it out. And I can feel this with my thumbnail. Right? You can even hear it. So this one's deep. You're not going to get that to buff out at all. This one, that'll buff out, but I can feel it right in a little bit right there. So do know this is not going away. Okay, I'm not going to bore you with every muffler bearing it's ever had. And you know, I stated earlier, every invoice is here. Well, how do I know what happened in 1972? There's a lot of records there, and the mileage is consistent. Most of them are from the dealership he purchased it from. Somewhere in there is the owner's warranty card. I just want to draw your attention to something I think is really cool. Check this out. He purchased this when he was in Japan and made the order then. So we've got, look at the item number there. And then over here, look at the DSO. You ever see a DSO like that? Yeah, this was ordered while he was in Japan. And I do have all the records in there showing what they gave him for trade-in on his 64.5 Mustang. So kind of cool on that. So overseas distribution operations, that's a unique document not many people have. Of course, the original window sticker, warranty, owner's manual looks like it's new almost. Here's all his original information there, including key code. In summary, this is the kind of car you could not recreate for $45,000. Most 4-speed cars are tired. This is the tightest, most original, well-preserved 4-speed car I've ever seen. What I like about it is you could drive this cross-country in comfort with the air conditioning and leather and power steering, get decent mileage, and have a lot of fun doing it. This is a turnkey car. I don't know what it's going to sell for, but we're going to put it on eBay, and good luck on it.